Amazon needs to be a channel. So all of you that are selling on Amazon need to think about this. What can we do to develop something independent of that so that Amazon becomes a channel and one of several marketplaces and one of several channels? And by the way, these are all strategies. Today is about strategies in my talk. I love this stuff so much, and this session in particular, because there's so many cool things that other people are doing, and as Ryan said, modeling people who are successful is so much faster than learning everything by yourself, failing by yourself, and trying new ideas that you don't know if they're going to work or not. So I spent several hundred hours this year and last year going through what the fastest, most successful internet retailers are doing, and we adapt this stuff to our companies. So Native Commerce was in the Inc. 500 fastest growing companies this year. We had another company that was in the Inc. 500 that we owned, two more that were in the Inc. 5000, a whole bunch of folks that are in War Room and that are using digital marketer stuff have also been in that list. And so I think Tony Robbins, I used to represent as his attorney. I'm a recovering attorney. And he said success leaves clues, right? So here are the clues for you, for your business. It comes down to 21 different things. And so we're going to go through them right here. And this is the 2016 list of the fastest growing companies from Internet Retailer. And you'll see the number one company grew by over 20,000%. It's a company called Leesa, L-E-E-S-A, I think it's spelled, and they sell mattresses. There are 4 mattress companies in the fastest growing. One of those types of companies is going to speak to you during the conference. So one of the things that I do to start this analysis is there's a tool called Built With, and there's another tool called Datanyze, D-A-T-A-N-Y-Z-E, and they allow you to go in and see what the tech stack is of the companies that, of any site, really. And so I start by taking all 50 of these guys, and I run them through Built With and Datanyze to see what tech stack they're using, to see if there's new technology that we haven't heard of. And we found some really cool things like Looker and retention science that we're using now that we wouldn't have known about if it wasn't for this. So I'd highly recommend that you think about doing that, or you can just come to this talk and save yourself a whole bunch of time. So the very first thing that you notice that these folks are doing is they have a better model. So they look at what is a model right now that's either broken or that is kind of weird, it's kind of inconvenient, okay? And so let's look at reinventing some models and markets. And each of these 21 things, at the end, I've got a little question for you for your business, so you can think about how it might apply to what you're doing. But Blue Apron is a great example. Blue Apron said, gosh, it's super inconvenient for people to go to the store. They work all day, they come home, and they just want to have a meal that they can prepare pretty quickly. So we're going to give them all of the ingredients, even if it's like 3 olives, measured out the way they need it. They're changing that model, saving people the inconvenience of going to the grocery store, saving people the cleanup of having to take out a fruit and cut it into 16 pieces and then clean it up and throw the rind away and all that kind of stuff. They cut out the middlemen that way, right? The middlemen being the grocery stores. Honest.com, Brian Lee is going to come in here and do a fireside chat with us a little bit later today. Great guy, amazing innovator, and he paired up with Jessica Alba to eliminate the inconvenience of shopping for hard-to-find natural baby products, and they have just taken off. Another company, Harry's.com, which is Harry's grooming products, and Dollar Shave Club. You know Dollar Shave was just recently acquired for a whole bunch of money. Harry's is on that same track, eliminating the inconvenience of going to the grocery store where they have, for some reason, locked these precious razors behind glass. I don't know. I don't understand that, right? You don't have to do that anymore. They'll just send it to you, and it's cheap every month. And Primary Kids is another one with respect to kids' clothing. So parents, when their kids are going back to school, have to spend all this time going into the crowds of the back-to-school shoppers to find clothes. They have created just almost like Garanimals, if any of you remember that, only classier. It's clothes that are just primary colors that are always in style. So what's your business model? What thing has always been done that way that you can do differently? Ask yourself that. Blue Apron with pre-measured ingredients, Warby Parker did it with glasses, Casper did it with mattresses. What thing has always been done that way that you can do differently? And can you cut out the middlemen or change the model to save money and provide a better experience and value for your customers? Jet.com was able to do that and innovate even in direct competition with Amazon, which is a pretty formidable competitor, right? But Jet.com looked at an airline called Ryanair in Europe that basically you can fly almost anywhere in Europe on Ryanair for a few euros, right? And the challenge is that if you want a boarding pass, it costs $5. If you want to take a bag, it costs $5. If you want to walk down, if you want a jetway instead of like having to climb up the plane, you pay five euros. So think about that. How does this apply to your business? How can you do this? The second thing is a very big mission. And Ryan played the We Believe video. Digital marketer has just absolutely shined since it adopted a mission. And doubling the sales of ideally every business in this room is part of Digital Marketer's mission. Part of Native Commerce's mission, the business that Perry runs and Karen Kang, is to aggregate over 1 million people in connected communities, right? So these are big missions. And some of the missions that I think are good to look at, Honest is to create a non-toxic world that benefits the next generation. NatureBox wants to be the Netflix of food. And you can just basically put your name in here and figure out the thing that applies to you. That's what we do. Dollar Shave Club to help guys live a smarter, more successful life through grooming. Now, these are evolving, but these are the original. And Warby Parker to offer designer eyewear at a revolutionary price while leading the way for socially conscious business. So, what's your bigger mission? What big problem are you solving through your business? Who will be impacted by what you are doing? What is the time frame that you're going to accomplish this? If you don't put a date certain on it, like if you don't say, we're going to accomplish it within this period of time, then I think that it's less real.